Hello everyone, and welcome to the 25th edition of the Node Operator Community Call. I am Remus, and I'm a contributor to the Lido Node Operator Mechanism workstream, and I'll be your host for today. So let's take a quick look at the agenda. The first item on our agenda is the CSLG, the Community Staking Livecard Report for Q4 2024 with NT. Then we have updates on the SimpleDVT module with Will. After a short intermezzo, we'll have Dimitri giving us the latest on the community staking module. And last but not least, we'll have Josh from Allnodes present their integration with CSM. So let's get started. First up is Antti with the community staking livecard report. Antti, when you're ready, please take it away.
Sure, thanks. Let me share screen first. Cool. So as you said, uh, I'll give a quick recap of what happened on Q4 from the front of the community lifeguards. Um, this is actually the first time that we have updates on the Node Operator community call, so I figure I'd give some context first. This is a small team. Right now we are two. We were three for most of for all Q4, but I'll speak more about that later. But we are just a team of operators, of independent operators, uh, that just wish to contribute and grow the community of stakers in Lido and the broader Ethereum. We do this mainly through three pillars. One of them is just adding value to the community, creating guides, creating content, educating people, supporting people when they have any issue or need anything. The second one is representing community operators. So for uh, decisions pertaining community staking within Lido, we act sometimes like as the voice of community operators and help make community campaigns or product decisions overall. And we also help identifying opportunities for collaboration, whether it's with other projects, other communities, in economic and non-economic ways. So giving grants, but also just jumping on um, doing workshops or activities together. Now, what happened actually in Q4? Uh, First of all, let's start with conferences and events. We had 8 appearances in 6 cities, 5 countries, including Malaysia, Thailand, China, the UK, and Taiwan. And there's two new types of events that we introduced last quarter as well. There's here I have just some screenshots for reference of some of the activities we did. The new activities, it's first the Solo Stakers Guild. We are building upon the success of the Stakers Guilds made by Lido on Brussels in Token 2049, I think it was the other one in Korea. And we are continuing this in a smaller way. Um, right now it was Sam who's done most of them in Q4. He did 5 staking workshops plus networking mixers. It is a very good space for existing node operators or for uh, people that are curious on the edge of becoming node operators to just hang out in a space where there's people that share similar interest, um, see how to run nodes, ask questions, make progress, and just share a good time. Um, of course, now in this Q1 and 2025 overall, this is a key cornerstone of our strategy. So everyone can expect to see more small stakers guilds all over the world. The next one is events that we are doing in collaboration with entities or other communities. In Q4, we did two. One is the Gnosis Chain, is a workshop we did with the Gnosis Chain community, given that Gnosis Chain has the same consensus, so people can also solo stake on Gnosis Chain, and we wanted to teach them how to run both Gnosis Chain and Ethereum and how to use Lido on Ethereum. And the other one, it was a workshop with centralized exchange, with employees of a centralized exchange, but they wish to remain anonymous, so not a lot of details we can share at this moment. Oh, again, this is also something that we are pushing for and continuing this quarter. We have already done close to 5 or even more events in collaboration this year. And so if anyone here listening is part of a community or a company, project, whatever, and is interested in having us facilitate some trainings, some workshops, or any other activities, just feel free to reach out as well. I'll share some contact info at the end of the presentation, just in case. With that said, we are also putting together everything in our Luma calendar. I'll leave that QR on the screen for a second. There we are curating some events, both carried on by us the community lifeguards, but also some events by the community. Um, so people interested again in just having a sense of community and learning how to run nodes will find their like just events of interest both online and in some places in the world. Right now, I think there's one scheduled for next week in Korea and another one that's going to happen in the Philippines by the end of the month. Another thing that we've done pretty much since the beginning is getting satellite communities. With satellite communities are communities we work very close with to make sure that there's to establish interest in the topic of Ethereum validation and also just continue and grow as an online, mostly online space where people can share their interest. Right now, we have 9 satellite communities. Most of these are in collaboration with local Ethereum communities in these places. And in total, they make up for right now it's more than 800. It was 799 by the end of the Q4. Next up, another big thing that happened last quarter was the launch of the community staking tribes with the first cohort. This is an initiative that where we collaborate with projects, other DAOs, companies, etc., in the Web3 space or in the tech space in general. Not all of them are strictly Web3, and we teach their contributors how to run nodes. We had the first cohort with Drop. Drop is part of the Lido Alliance, and it's a liquid staking provider on the Cosmos ecosystem. This cohort has 6 participants, 3 of which are already transitioning to mainnet, and the rest are still running testnet. And we have 2 other projects coming up very soon for a following cohort. On another category, we also give grants. We have a community staking grants program, usually targeted at small stuff, mainly small community tools, meetups, etc. And in Q4, we funded 3 main things. The first one was a batch of grants for the CSM tooling round. That's a round that's closing on the 14th of February, where we are looking for people that want to contribute with tooling that's helpful for community stakers in Lido. In this first batch, we had a rewards calculator. There's the link as well. An integration with itshere.io, which is undergoing. It should be live I think, in a month, more or less. And we also gave a retroactive grant to Validator Swarm, which is a tool to create, manage, etc. CSM operators on a command line interface. There was also the first CSM meetup I think in Africa for that matter, but at least on Nigeria, but the Node Bridge Africa community, and also some small grants for social media outreach. That totaled an amount. There was a total of $19,300. We also make a survey every quarter. Won't stop here a lot. It's also like probably too long for the call right now, but in general, numbers stay the same, which makes us very happy to see that the community does value the efforts that we're putting into growing community stakers in Lido and Ethereum. Now to finish, or before finishing, what to expect in 2025? Well, like I said, we are already doing a bunch of things. We are onboarding more organizations to the staking tribes. We have already done more than 5 workshops, online workshops. We'll be doing some more staking guilds. But in general, we want to grow our presence online. Last year, we did a bunch of stuff in real life, trying to raise awareness of community staking in Lido and the possibility of joining the protocol in a permissionless way. We want to double down on the community staking tribes. which seems to be working pretty fine right now. Organizations are generally excited to get their contributors on board to align with Lido and Ethereum and to just learn more about how the protocol works and get involved. Now that the CSM is permissionless, we are also working to onboard some of the operators that unfortunately weren't whitelisted for EA. And we will continue doing the good stuff that we've been doing so far up until now. One extra thing, like I said at the beginning as well, we were 3 community lifeguards up until now. Unfortunately, or better said, for changes in their priorities, StakeCat has decided to step down from the community lifeguards, and so we are looking for a new one, preferably based in Europe, but we are open to conversations. So if anyone here listening to the operator call is interested, feel free to reach out or to just simply apply in the community lifeguards thread on the Lido Research Forum. And yeah, now, to close, just thank you. It was a very nice quarter last year. We saw CSM get into mainnet and the community really rallying up to support it. In that QR, you'll find the community lifeguards website on the Node Operator portal, where there's information about everything we do, all the programs, and also our contact information for anyone to reach out. And I think that's it. Back to you, Remus.
Awesome. Thank you, Antti. It was great to hear about all of the events and the initiatives from the lifeguards. Thanks for that. Let's now proceed with the next topic, which is the updates for SimpleDVT from Will. Will, if you're ready, please start.
Hey everyone. So I'm going to be giving some quick updates on SimpleDVT. We will kick off with the SSV section of the module. So currently, and this will be a bit of a trend throughout this conversation in terms of the validator numbers, over the last few weeks, there's been more withdrawals than deposits from the protocol. And basically that has led to delays in the activation of some of these validator accounts. So some of these numbers will look fairly similar to the last time we did this call, although key limits are increasing. And so when deposits do start flowing in, you will see a pretty significant increase in terms of the share of the SimpleDVT module. So currently for SSV, the 12 core 1 clusters are now running between 60 and 80 validators each. Their last performance report has not been updated, but that will be coming in the next few weeks. The 5 super clusters since that last call now had their 300 keys in addition to the 200 active registered to SSV network and submitted to the registry. And so they're waiting for deposits. Today, we had the cohort 2 performance report that was published and very encouraging progress here. There was improvement across validator attestation effectiveness, uptime, and block proposal success rate. So all of the SSV cohort 2 clusters are currently active with 5 keys and a 20 validator key limit. This performance report includes a proposal to raise the key limits for 8 of the 9 clusters to 80 validators in a phased approach. So the key limit will be increased, as was already approved under the last proposal, to 40 keys. Once those 40 keys are deposited, there would be an increase to 60 and then 80 keys as well, if there is no pushback on the discussion. That is with the exception of the Quiet Quetzal cluster, which has been performing below expectations. This was noted in the last performance report. And so there is no proposal to raise key limits here past 20 until these issues are resolved. But the SSV team has been troubleshooting with the cluster participants, and there's been very encouraging progress. So validator attestation effectiveness has now actually increased by 4.6 percentage points since the last performance report, and hopefully we'll continue to see good progress here. They do have a 100% block proposal success rate, which is also encouraging. The big piece of news related to this SimpleDVT update is that SSV cohort 3 is now onboarding. And so this will add 65 net new participants to the SimpleDVT module, bringing the total number of net new participants to 301. So that's in addition to 24 curated node operators, which are excluded from that number. There's one participant when the actual post that went live, it was 66. There's a forum update that will be coming because one of the net new participants did have to withdraw. But super encouraging, the total number of net new node operators driven by SimpleDVT over 300. And as these clusters go through the setup process, they'll have keys depositable in the next few weeks. And then hopefully we'll be live soon after. We're also in the process of having SSV's new version of their DKG software, v3.01, tested on Husky. That will be tested over the next 10 days or so before utilizing it for the SSV cohort 3 distributed key generation ceremonies. This launches a bunch of new features, including resharing, and so it'll be really interesting to see the results. And assuming everything looks good, then roll it out across the rest of the clusters too, giving some more optionality in situations where node operators may need to be replaced in clusters without having to fully exit clusters. All right, on to Obol. So for the Obol side, cohort 1, still running 80 validators each. 5 super clusters still on track to have their 500 deposited, currently running 370 validators each. So about 130 validators for those 5 clusters each before they get to their maximum capacity. Cohort 2 performance report is expected to go live. Currently, this is more of just a maintenance update, except for 2 clusters. So 12 of the clusters have already had their key limits raised to 80 validators. And then there's Vivacious Viper at 40, which will potentially see an increase, as well as Whistling Wolf at 60. Whistling Wolf had not gone to 80 due to, again, performance constraints. And so it'll be interesting to see what the data turns up later this week. But in general, there's been very, very significant outperformance and very strong performance from Obol clusters if you look on the rated metrics. So things look in pretty good shape here. Cohort 3 has onboarded since the last call, and they are just waiting for deposits for their first 5 validators. They currently are first in line within the SimpleDVT module. So once CSM reaches the same amount of stake that SimpleDVT has, these cohort 3 clusters will also start getting deposits very soon after. Finally, just a quick note here. So the Obol snapshot related to the Melo distributed validator vault was taken. You can check your eligibility at the Obol claim site. The main point here is just to say that the vault is still receiving points from SSV that currently has an 8x multiplier because the number of SSV validators in the SimpleDVT module is higher versus the amount of ETH within the vault. That's in addition to Melo points and wrap staked ETH APR. And once Obol validators in SimpleDVT and CSM are deposited to in this next cycle, it's expected that Obol points will start generating again. So DVV is still active. Currently, the main focus there is SSV, Melo, and wrap staked ETH APR. And that's it. Keeping it short this month. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Thank you, Will. Happy to see SDVT progressing along. I do hope the stake dynamics will change and the clusters will see deposits soon, though. All right. With that, we will have now a quick break. All right. I think that should be it. Let's continue with our next item on the agenda, where we'll hear updates about the community staking module from Dimitri. Dimitri, you're ready. The floor is yours.
Oh yeah, I'm ready as never before. Thank you, Remus. So, a short update about what's going on with CSM and probably the main thing that is going on with CSM is that CSM is finally permissionless. Yes, guys, it has happened. It has happened last Friday. So starting from last Friday, Lido is officially a staking protocol that is permissionless. What does it mean? It means that anyone can become a node operator with Lido, can become Lido node operator, can become node operator with CSM. However, there's one thing that I do need to note, and it has something to do with the current capacity of the module. As you all noticed or haven't noticed yet, we are in the situation where CSM is basically overfilled. Yes, so the initial capacity of CSM, the initial stake share limit, was set to 1%, and this stake limit was increased 2 times to 2%. However, in 19 minutes, since CSM became permissionless, the whole queue was fully occupied. And currently we have 4,018 keys that can be potentially deposited by the protocol should the stake inflows return. And we have 5,028 keys in the queue, which, as you see, is more than CSM can occupy. So how can you keep track of it, and how can you be aware of the CSM capacity, and if your keys that you can still upload to CSM will be deposited soon or not? To do that, we need to go to the operators.py/module/3, or you can simply go to operators.lido.py and then click on CSM, which will bring you to the same page, and you will see the following table. So in the following table, we have 3 important parameters. The first one is active keys, which is the number of validator keys that has already been deposited by the Lido protocol. And this number is currently 1,882. The next important number is available capacity, which is the number of validator keys uploaded to CSM by node operators, but not yet deposited by the protocol. And the last number that we need to look at is the remaining module capacity. So this is the theoretical number of validators that can be deposited by the protocol before CSM will hit its share limit. And as you can see on the slide, the current share limit is 2% of total Lido stake. This number is not a fixed number. This number depends on the total value locked of the protocol. So currently, the whole staking market faced a bunch of outflows. So same applies for Lido protocol. So Lido protocol TVL is now not at the highest point. It's like way far from the highest point. And if we will see new deposits, if we will see increase in the total value locked for the protocol, this number will go up, and we will probably even see numbers like 5,000, who knows. But at the moment, as you can see, the whole capacity is already occupied by those who posted bond and uploaded validator keys. So what we can do about it, what you can do about it. So if your keys are already in the queue when you are one of a few lucky participants, because we are in the permissionless world, and in the permissionless world, the first come, first served principle is working. So if you are already in the queue, just keep your nodes running and wait for the deposits to be allocated to your validators. If you haven't joined yet, then I do have 2 advices for you. First of all, if this is your first experience with Ethereum validation, then the best way to do now is to set up a testnet nodes and give CSM a try on testnet. And there would definitely be some updates regarding CSM v2, which I will talk about later, for which participation on a testnet might also be beneficial for you. And for sure, stay tuned for the updates on the next stake share limit increase. There's an important note to do here that even though some people might say it in Twitter and anywhere else that, hey, why don't you just increase the stake share limit to, I don't know, 50% or something like that? The problem is that simply increasing stake share limit will not be super effective for home stakers, and we clearly saw that once CSM became permissionless, because we saw several big operators or big home stakers anyway who occupied the majority of the queue on their own. Which means that even if the share limit will be increased right now to 50% or something like that, it will first of all create a security considerations for the protocol, and secondly will mostly be occupied by large players, which would be not beneficial for decentralization and would definitely be not beneficial for home stakers. So what's the solution here? And the solution here is CSM v2. You heard it right. So with CSM v2, we will see the entry gates mechanic, which would provide specific entry pathways for home stakers, for professional operators, and for the other types of stakers. And these gates will ensure and they will work in pair with special conditions for independent operators, for professional operators, and so on, effectively balancing the stake and the queue between different types of node operators. So even though right now CSM queue is already occupied, we definitely hope that CSM v2 will allow for a better balanced approach that will not only allow Lido to be permissionless, but will also allow Lido to continue its pathway towards decentralization. So with that said, that was all of the updates. CSM is permissionless, and in Lido, among Lido contributors, we love this word, but in ETH we trust. We are ETH aligned, so let's stay ETH aligned and let's make Lido even more decentralized. And that's it from my side. Thank you.
Awesome. Huge achievement. Yeah, congrats to the CSM team and to everyone involved. Let's see the video. On a related note, we will continue now with the demo from Josh from Allnodes with their integration with CSM. Josh, when you're ready, please get started.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Allnodes, and I'm happy to present a quick and easy way to set up testnet or mainnet when it is more ready, as Dimitri said, for new validators. So today I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration from our website. I've already created an account, and I've already mined ETH, and I have my MetaMask set up with Holsky testnet ETH, as you can see here. So what I do is I go to Allnodes, and I click on the Lido CSM validator website here, and I can click Become a Validator. So we have mainnet and Holsky, and so for this demonstration, we're going to do Holsky real quick. It's quick and easy, and it is complimentary from Allnodes, $0 a month on testnet, and then we have some different plan options that I can go over as well. So we'll go ahead and connect our MetaMask wallet. We have all the different wallets that you can use, such as Ledger, Treasure. You can use Wallet Connect for other wallets as well. We're going to use MetaMask here. So I've already connected to MetaMask here, 44.44. ETH, we can host up to 29 validator nodes. We're going to go ahead and click Proceed. And we can choose how many we want to do. We're just going to do one for now. We'll click Proceed. Since this is on Holsky testnet, it's $0 a month, like I mentioned. We'll click Host a Validator, and the server will start up pretty quickly. As you can see, I've already set up a few, which we'll go over as well, some of the other options. So these two are waiting in the queue. This one I need to actually click to start setting it up. So we'll click to resolve, and we'll go ahead and download our Ethereum validator key. If we don't want to copy, you can do that, but we don't recommend that. So because we won't be able to get them in the future. So we'll go ahead and download the copy. We'll create a secure password on here, and then we'll go ahead and download it. So as you can see, it popped up here. Normally I would check it, but since it's testnet and we're on a live call, we'll go ahead and we'll just say we successfully downloaded the key store file. So we're ready to go there. We need to make sure that we don't launch the validator anywhere else, because otherwise we have a slashing issue for breaking attestation rules and double signing. So now that we understand that, we'll go ahead and make the ETH deposit. So this node, I've already set up some validators, so we need to deposit another 1.8 as part of the bonding curve. Normally, you would need to deposit 2 for testnet and 2.4 to start for mainnet. So we'll click deposit. We'll get our MetaMask coming up, interacting with here. Everything looks good. So we'll go ahead and submit. There we go. So now the deposit has occurred. And now we'll see we're waiting in Lido CSM validator queue. So as you can see, it's super easy and simple to use. We'll go over some of the other functions here. So I have a Lido that I've already set up previously that is actually running. It's been running for about 10 days. We can see the rewards that it's already used, so we can claim those. For instance, select MetaMask again, we can claim our excess bond, we can claim our rewards. That's weird. I don't know why it popped right there like that. But anyways, we can claim the rewards that way. Click claim. We can also add bond as well if we needed to, if there was some issue there. And then we also have the notification where it says it's waiting in the queue. So this one has 13 to go. This one has 57. This one will populate in a few minutes once it updates on the system. And other things that we can do is we can look here. We can click on the node operator ID. It'll bring us to the Lido page where you can look at operators and see what's going on. So submitted, used, vetted keys, active, and so on. And if we click on the different operator ID, so here we see 2911. This one hasn't actually is still in the queue. So that one is showing a little bit different. So then we can also click very easily here and look at the actual validator on Holsky testnet as well. So here's some information, all the attestations. It's missed only one attestation, so very good job so far. And it has not had sync committee. It hasn't proposed any blocks yet either. You can also see other things on our dashboard, like for instance, it's saying 4 or 7 systems. So this is the 4 that are running. These are the 3 that are waiting in the queue. You can look at all the ETH statistics, like the price of ETH lately. Not such a pretty chart, sadly, for all of us. And of course, validators online in ETH as well. And that's all I have here for us. I guess I could go over the plans real quick as well. Here are the pricing plans for Lido CSM. There's a basic, advanced, and enterprise plan. And you can see some of the different information about them. So uptime of 99%, 99.9%, and 99.98%. And then it just talks about different features like this is in just one location. This is better for decentralization, more speed, and more priority support. And then different sort of MEV boosts as well. The more boosts that you have, the better returns that you should have for Lido over time. And then we also have some insurance for slashing. And then we also have some standby hardware for the top plan as well. And then it also runs with redundancy as well. So that way, in case there's an issue. So let me go back to here just to show you the kind of the difference on the Lido plan here. We can show what plans we're running. So we're running Besu and Teku. If we were running the enterprise plan, we would, instead of running Besu and Teku, or besides Besu and Teku, we would be running also a second set as well. So I'll go ahead and turn the call back over to our next presenter.
Oh, before you stop sharing the screen, let me quickly comment
Sure.
on the situation with the rewards. So what we've actually seen now is an amazing feature of CSM, because you've just uploaded an additional key to the existing node operator, and you had some access bond. And the cool thing about CSM is when you have access bond and you want to upload additional key, all the access bond is used by default as the deposit for the next validator. So there's no need for you to claim some part of rewards back and then put them back with the validator key. So it definitely saves you some time and transactions.
That's great. Thank you for adding that. I did not actually realize that myself. So something I learned today as well. So that's good for me to share with clients. Thank you for that.
All right. Thanks a lot for the demo, Josh. I don't see any other questions or comments in the chat. So yeah, everything actually looks really straightforward, clean. So yep, I think, and that was the last presentation we had for today. So we can get ahead, started with wrapping things up. So thanks everyone for attending this call. We'll look forward to having you on the next one next month. And yeah, start validating with CSM. Thank you.